All right, Ken. Happy Wednesday. We're here again.
Yes, sir.
We don't have any chats yet, so we'll see what happens after the intro.
Well, they're probably doing all their last minute tax return.
That could be. But it says we have 15 seconds before we go live, so we'll start a
Nice.
little early.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Hey, Mike, what do you see? A Falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable Falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable Falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy far. The Falcon's ready, let's raise the bar. Hey! Hey, Mike, what do you see? A Falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable Falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable Falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars in a galaxy.
Look at that. We did get some chats already.
I'm telling you, man, there are folks just knocking down doors to get to
Yeah,
this.
there we go. So thank you for the chats, everyone.
Good to see you guys.
Martin and Anthony. I don't know if I should change the background. I don't know if I like that. There, that looks more Star Warsy, I think.
Well, speaking of stars, did you get to see the rocket launch the other day?
I did not see it. I saw your video you posted up.
That was so cool. It was
Yeah.
so very, very cool.
Yeah, that it takes me back from when I first saw the first man on the moon. Like, I don't remember it, but my grandmother said I watched it when I was like a year old, so or whenever that happened.
Like the actual one or the one in Hollywood?
No, the one 19, the Neil Armstrong one.
Okay.
Listen,
The one in Hollywood.
well, the last, I think I've said this on the show before, but the last couple years I've had a handful of students whose parents believe the Earth is flat and we never went to the moon. Like, seriously, Like when
Not
because I
not like ironically or playfully.
no. They're like, well, my
Okay.
parents and I, we don't like because I'm teaching like I teach rocketry and airplane design and stuff like that for seventh grade. And yeah, I've had a few like that. I was like, what?
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
I was like, okay, I'm not going to step on your beliefs. So I don't need a parent phone call. So we're just going to, you but yeah. So before we get started, Ken, just remind everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wednesday nights, I'm usually hanging out with you. I'm in a little show called Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy with Todd and Ken. We have an episode that we put out recently where we were able to interview Tom Hutchins, the organizer and creator of the Mandalorian merch, or the Mando merch. I also have my own solo show called The Rambling Star Wars Fan. And every once in a while, when the stars align, I get to sit around the Dejeric table with the guys from Bantam Podcast. And I know you've got your hands in like bunches and bunches of shows now. Where can
Yeah,
folks find you?
so I have Zoe's. I help with Zoe's Star Wars Geek Girl. They just had a new episode go up. I have this show and 501st Cast, and Anthony hopefully sent in a mission report. He said for Steel City, which is awesome. Um, yeah, we're recording the May episode. I think this Sunday for the 501st Cast. So
Nice.
yeah, uh, so
You
yeah,
guys do anything fun to celebrate May 1st?
May. I'm not sure. So the behind the curtains of the 501st Cast is we all talk a big game until the day before, and that's when we're all scrambling, filling out,
All right, fair enough.
filling.
Okay, I can appreciate that.
We're always like, okay, well, we're gonna work on this, and then it's usually the Saturday. Like we usually record on a Saturday or Sunday, so whatever day we record on, the notes go up the day or two before, and we're all scrambling to fill in the things, and we all have these great ideas, and so I think
Yeah,
that's par for
I
the
can
course
appreciate that.
for podcasting in general.
Yeah, for a guy that took 2 months to put out a 30-minute podcast, yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah, well, you need to like get a hold of Mikey on our podcast, and you and him would be like the perfect mesh because he can turn out special effects and graphics while we're talking. They'll just appear. Like when we some of our special effects were like, hey, we should do this, and you just he's talking, and you hear a little clicking, and then he loads it up and it's ready to go. You know what I mean?
Like
Like
the
like
more you know with the
yeah,
rainbow.
yeah, he did that literally. We finished our sidetrack conversation and he had that up. Like, so the wizardry of him. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Here we go. We have Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald is Ronald McDonald a trooper? I picture him in a orange and red suit. Yeah.
Actually, I think today is McDonald Day, actually.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, and Banana Day. So that
Yeah, well,
makes
Anthony, they could turn it in any time. Again, when we record, it just happens to be this Sunday. I think because the main reason we're probably recording slightly earlier than normal is because of all the Star Wars stuff coming up. It was just scheduling, because we're all getting into that beginning of May trooping time. Whether for me, I have some teacher that wants me. She's like, "Oh, could you bring in your little costume one day and film something at lunch for us?" I'm like, "Yes, but you're gonna have to you have to tell me like a day or two before. It's not like I'm gonna have to like put it all together, bring it into school, So we get all this.
there's a process.
Yeah, yeah. It's it is a process. But yeah, that's where you can find us all. Um, Yorkshire.
Coming
Oh,
to us from jolly old England.
yes. What time is it in England right now?
Early.
Early.
Very,
So
very early.
that's the I've only been there once and it was quite enjoyable. Other than I think I was the only one in our group that understood the pounds and dollar conversion because everyone else was spending like drunken sailors. And then I'm like, no, that doesn't cost $100. It's £100 or euros or whatever they were charging people. Um, Well, yeah, Ken. So we did have warm weather. How about costuming? Let's go straight into
Yes,
costuming.
I did no trooping. However, I was able to spend a lot of time on Saturday, probably 8 or 9 hours with some of the folks from the Pennsylvania Maviola clan, the Mando Mercs,
Nice.
and I actually got some stuff done. I'm at the point now where I'm working on the little bitty things. So I'm working on
Oh
the
yeah.
greeblies. These are some tiny darts that are going to go
Nice.
in the gauntlets. I'm
Nice.
trying to make them so that
Oh yeah. Nice.
they coordinate with the accents in my armor. My armor is this color shift paint that if you look at it from one angle, it's going to be purple. If you look at it from another angle, it's going to be blue. You look at it from another angle, it's going to be green. And I have gold accents throughout it. So I'm trying to make my greeblies have some of that gold accenting color to it.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And I realized I am nowhere near as good at painting as Todd is. So
Well, Todd's used to painting those little tiny things. You know what I mean? Like, you know. Oh yeah, you could have met Spartan. He would have been up there.
nice.
So that was up. Where was that? Where was the armor
It
party
was
at?
in Bethlehem. Yeah, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you should have went. You should have went to a vegan treats and got yourself a donut when you're up there.
I was worried that they weren't going to let me in because I'm not vegan.
You're as soon as you walk in, you're vegan, and then as soon as you leave, you can eat whatever you want.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, we actually. So this might sound funny, but the armor party started at noon, and we all worked on stuff while the sun was up, and it was nice and warm. And then right around dinner time, so like 6 or 7, we just started chit chatting, and the next thing you know, it's like 9:30 and 9 o'clock or whatever. I'm like, I have to drive 2 hours home.
well, but that
It was so fun.
that is the best kind of armor party. I mean, you get stuff done and you get to hang and talk.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, they have Victoria has one of those like propane fire pits
oh
and
yeah, yeah,
everything. So we're all gathered around that, spinning yarns and telling all different stories. And we even talked about some Star Wars related stuff. It was really, really nice.
here, look, we got an invite. I don't know.
Sure, you can invite us. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know that show. As long as it's not some crazy show. Um, yeah, I know I do need to suit up and get pictures taken. There's some stuff that needs fixed on that. I am going to. I don't think it's a troop. But I may suit up for May the 4th. But my TS, wait a minute,
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Oh yeah, there's not many of those around. With the
Congratulations, Anthony. That's awesome.
black
That's
frown.
great to hear.
That's good.
Yeah, and Todd was. I forgot to mention Todd was up there for a while, so
Yeah,
Todd and I got to hang out in the same place. And this may
nice.
come as a surprise. We recorded absolutely nothing for either of our shows.
Well, that's all right though. You need a microphone with a little thing around it that has all your shows on it. And you just flip it around, and you can have a camera. I'm here with so and so. Just to do a spot, and they can say, "Please listen." All you gotta do is say, "Please say, listen to Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy with Todd and Ken." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it's about collecting army. Does Star Wars figures count? I guess they're kind of army men.
Navy.
So when I was a kid, we
Air
had
Force.
multiple army men. Those generic, and it seems like they would all get busted except for the guy with the radio. Like you'd have boxes of these, and the only ones you could find that weren't mangled was the guy with the radio.
The radio was really like chunky.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And then
Where the rifle was, or even the pistols, they were such thin plastic.
well, so he said, Revenge of the Sith. How many copies? So one of our former co-host, John, how many copies of Revenge of the Sith does he have?
Over 100.
Yeah, of Revenge of the Sith DVD. So, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I used to remember I think it was the Marks. Oh yeah, well I didn't get to mine yet. We were still talking about Ken's build. So Ken, you got your gauntlets done.
Work not
Or
done, but I got some work done on those. I also um, I'm working on the T visor for my helmet. And one of the things I'm learning is that a Mando helmet versus a Mando helmet versus a Mando helmet versus a Mando helmet, they don't all have the same T visor. We had traced out a T visor from somebody else's helmet to use as a template for mine, and it didn't fit. And then I
yeah.
attempted to do the same thing with my T visor for my helmet, and it didn't work. So I got to figure out a better technique of getting a T visor fit into my helmet.
Yeah, well, your helmet's painted, right?
Yeah.
So what I did for a couple of the helmets like that I did, I took cardstock paper, or it'll even work with index cards, and just start lining the inside of what put them on the inside, and you cut them and tape them all together, and then you get that shape, and then you just keep trimming them because you can always just add more on, and then just so that fits in, because the cardstock, sometimes paper gives too much and you lose that,
Yeah.
and then you just make a solid tape one. Now
Okay, that's a good idea.
for these helmets that I'm going to move into what I worked on. So I'm working on 5 Mando kit. I would say call them half kits. I should have just brought them up to you guys, and you guys could have helped me Saturday if I was thinking. So I have all the helmets in primer, and then I took that. I wasn't going to do much sanding, you know what I mean? But they have that weird circular pattern in the top, because I think I forgot to turn ironing on the printer. That's my fault. So I primed them, give them a light sanding, and I took that stuff you brush on from Smooth On that fills in the layers,
Okay. I haven't used
and
that stuff yet.
it's good. It's I made the mistake that I knew I shouldn't have done. I mixed too much ahead of time, so the one helmet got a little gloopy. It's going to cause me a slight headache when I resand. But if you mix a small amount and you just do the ridges, it fills them in really well. So I brushed all those, and they're ready to prime. And so probably if the weather stays, I'll probably do one last coat of primer on the helmets Friday and lay out all the other stuff and prime it. And then I'm going to just hit them with some coat. I know what coats the kids want, and I'm going to just do base coats of that, put on some markings, and if all goes well, I'll have most of them. I'm shooting for 75%, but I'm hoping to have at least 50% done by Saturday of everything that needs done for a one-time wear for kids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know, so. But
That's very great.
here's the nice thing about the Galactic Armory helmets. It comes with a file for the lens. So
Oh, rub it in.
you print the lens, and that's a template. And then you can use that for the thing. And all these masks have a lip that goes up, and here and here. You put the lens in and push down, and it locks into the helmet. No tape, no glue, So we'll see. We'll see how it works out.
That's awesome.
The bad part about I feel with the Mando lenses, so the bad part of the good part about those Galactic Armory, they have a bar that goes across on the helmet to keep the helmet from shifting.
Yeah.
Now the two female helmets don't have it, but they have a thicker, the outer rim of the visor. But the ones I'm using for the guys' helmets, they have that bar across the middle, which is really nice. I just paint it black; you won't even see it.
And I'll say it again. I know we've talked about it a couple times related to Galactic Army. I think their files are a fantastic example of files that are made by people who build the stuff
Yep.
and wear the stuff.
Yep.
So that piece that you're talking about to keep the parts of the cheeks together and the groove for the visor, those are like top-notch little additions to the print to make it easier for costume construction.
Yeah, I'll have to bring the helmets down next week. I'll bring the helmets. I'll show them off here. But yeah, and they're built for printers, which is nice. because I printed them with very little supports, and there are almost no seam lines to fill because they fall right where the cracks are, and just, you know. And I've decided anything that looks a little funky, it's going to be battle damage. It's just going to get a nice streak of gray and silver and a little bit of weathering, and
Yeah,
we'll be
that's
good to
awesome.
go. So,
And Josh was asking about this wrecker helmet. It's something that I picked up a couple months ago.
oh yeah, yeah.
There's this mall not too far from us out in Millville or Vineland, and they had it there. I got the wrecker, and I got the Echo.
Yeah. And they're handmade, right? Are they 3D printed or are they
They're
cast?
resin. They're
Resin.
resin.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Guess how much
Yeah.
I paid for them?
Under 100.
Total, yeah.
50
both.
each. 50
No.
each. 45 each.
No.
25.
25 each.
Oh my lord. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's
And
good
they
though.
even came with whoever made them. It may not come up very easily on the camera,
Yeah, I
but
can
there's
see.
actually some fabric on the inside too.
Yeah. That's
You know,
crazy.
they put in a little padding in the. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, put in a little padding in the top. I mean, they're not perfect. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd build an entire costume around them, but they look fantastic on the shelf
Yeah, well,
behind me.
there's always good display helmets. Ronald, we don't mind if you could chat all you want, bud. We'll try to jump in. We are not a we sometimes miss the chats. We have a lot going on here, but that Rogue, how was that Rogue One TK, Anthony? That's a it has the, I think that Rogue One doesn't have the shoulder straps go back into the back piece, I think, and it has what similar to a USB port in the stomach, and it has the indented vents, if I remember correctly, and the earpiece with a little more detail on them. So it's awesome to, to see all the TKs and all that stuff out there. I haven't trooped any lately. Like I said, I have one teacher that wanted to know if I could put a stormtrooper suit on at lunch. So we'll see if anything comes of that. My biggest fear is they're going to send me an email like at 12 o'clock at night the night before, and I'm not going to see it. And
I'm thinking about dressing up as Kylo Ren for work because I have to teach orientation on that Monday, May the 4th.
Nice. Yeah, there's a hospital visit. There's a hospital visit on that Monday, and I almost thought of taking off work, but it's just right now it's just such a headache to take off for work. But there is in Elizabethtown, all of downtown Elizabethtown.
How far from you is Elizabethtown?
It's an hour.
Okay.
I mean, it's less than an hour if there's no traffic. But Elizabethtown, all of downtown, it's sponsored by a toy store there. I don't know if you and I went to that toy store when you were up. I can't
I
remember.
don't think we went to Elizabethtown.
Did we? Or didn't
No,
we?
we went to Havity Grace.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it's
We had to go
similar
see Jar Jar.
yeah, it's similar to it. The town, Elizabethtown, is similar, but all of downtown is Star Wars. It's like from 5 to 7 or 4 to 7. So I may, depending on how that Monday goes, like rush home, just take my Sandy and just walk around. Anthony, yeah, you wear it to make the mods. Look where you bled, and trim.
Or find out what's not connected or
Not connected.
well.
What Velcro pops off? That's always the fun of your first armor wear. But yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do for May the 4th or even Free Comic Book Day. There's a troop around here. There's a couple troops around here. Yeah, I haven't picked my because I also have the Galactic Empire concert on the 2nd.
Okay.
So
that's Saturday, right?
That's Saturday the 2nd. So I have that concert to go to. So if I troop, I got to troop early.
Yeah, because they're doing something Galactic Empire is going to be in another town in Pennsylvania on the 3rd.
Yeah, and they're going to be in Baltimore, I think, on the 1st.
Oh, okay.
Anyone know that Star Wars was originally? I don't know about that. I don't think Star Wars was, but I think there was probably some stuff it was based on. We have Ken here, who is like the walking Star Wars encyclopedia.
Yeah, that would be really hard to do considering George's age.
Yeah, but there was like what was the one that he based C-3PO on from Metropolis? That was a really old movie.
Yeah, that was Fritz Lang's Metropolis, and I think
And
that was
then
like the 30s.
yeah,
But one thing I am concerned about, we'll go back to the costuming stuff. So these little darts
yeah,
go into the top part of the gauntlet,
right.
and they only connect into their little holster by that little gray bit there. That's
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
place that gets glue. I'm really worried that these things are going to get caught on everything and snap right off.
Well, you might want to drill a small hole in them and drill a small hole where you glue them and cut a piece of a paper clip and glue that like so it slides in like a pin. Zoe has broken a couple of her little greeblies on her Sabine, so I think I'm going to cast them in something soft, like
Okay.
rubber, so they have a consistency of just slightly more flexible than like a pencil eraser.
Okay.
So then if it does get caught, they'll just bend and then pop right back.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping that this weather that we have now stays through the weekend.
yeah, well, I don't want 80. If we can have like 70 with no humidity, like I don't want any humidity. I want to paint. So I want some nice, good old fashioned like heat. So
Which I'm not sure if it'll work because they're calling for at least here tomorrow. They're saying it's going to be in the 90s. I mean, we went
yeah,
from 40 something last week to
yeah,
90 something this week.
yeah. Yeah, I just want warm weather so I can paint because it's nice, especially if it's sunny. I can't sit the 3D prints out in the sun for long, but I can sit them out enough they can cure and I can get a couple coats on them. So
Yeah, things go right. I'm pushing really hard to see if I can get this post Imperial kit done for Fan Expo.
yeah, well, there's Fan Expo, and then what's the other one? Fandom Con? Is that the same weekend as Fan Expo?
That I don't know. I'm not sure if I've heard of that one yet.
That's at the Oaks location,
Okay.
and it might be the same weekend, 25th, Geekdom Con. It might be.
The Fan Expo is the next weekend. Fan Expo is the very last weekend
Oh,
of,
okay. Well,
of
then it's
May.
it's it's like Geekdom Con, I think.
Okay. And I don't know if I don't anticipate my post Imperial kit being approvable by Fan Expo, but I would at least one day like to wear it around just for like we were talking about here, just to see what fits, what doesn't, see how it's secured and everything. And
Now,
I found
have you
these.
heard anything about panels from them?
No, the only thing that I heard is when I originally submitted, it was something, I don't know, I can't remember if it was in the auto-generated email or if it was in the website after I submitted that they would let us know roughly a month before the show
Yeah,
whether our panel
that's
was
the
ready.
yeah. So they haven't announced any panels. They just keep getting guests. The cons, all the cons are just vying for guests right now. That's all the you
Yeah,
know.
I'm very, very surprised that it doesn't seem, at least at this moment, that there are many Star Wars folks. There's gonna be a lot of Lord of the Rings folks there from the
Yeah,
movies.
yeah,
Like the main group of hobbits are going to be there, but I haven't seen or heard of many of the Star Wars celebrities there this year,
yeah,
which I think would be a shame considering that the movie will have come out just a few weeks before.
yeah, yeah. Now, are you caught up on Maul?
All 4 episodes, my friend.
Yeah. Me too. That's our segue into Maul. It's not the movie, but what do you think so far?
I continue to be amazed by it, and I'm amazed of a couple of specific things. One, I'm amazed at the music.
Okay.
The music is so like deep and powerful, almost to the point where in some ways it's overwhelming. I listened to um, Kevin kind of released one of the tracks on Apple Music, and I've been listening to that on repeat. And there's
Oh,
just some
okay. Yeah.
sections of that where this like deep bass sound just fills the entire car, and you can feel it almost like pressing on you. It's so foreboding.
Now, was there? I thought I heard it, but then when I listened again, it didn't sound as clear. But I almost felt like I heard notes of the Mandalorian theme when it, Maul was either talking or stalking that youngling.
Maybe. I thought I had picked it up a couple times in some of the scenes where when Rook cast
Yeah, yeah.
and her group of Mandos were there, but
Maybe it was then. Maybe when I went back, I was looking in the wrong spot.
yeah,
Uh,
and unfortunately, I don't know music well enough to be able to accurately pull out all of these things unless it's like slapping me in the face with like for instance we heard parts of Duel of the Fates in the
yeah,
very
yeah.
first
That was
episode,
good.
or sometimes you'll hear the Imperial March or whatever.
Yeah.
But the subtle ones I don't hear as well as some people who are steeped in music.
Well, you know what surprised me the most that I like? I mean, I like the show a lot, but what surprised me the most is I like the detective and the detective story way more than I thought I would.
I didn't I didn't realize they were going to go so deep on a detective story.
That's what I mean. Like I was like, he's a trench coat detective drinking coffee. Like if they could let him smoke, I guarantee you he would have a cigarette hanging out of his mouth the whole time.
Quite possibly
Yeah. I mean, if it was, if this was made, back
in the
when
80s.
yeah, he,
It's the 80s because wasn't Mel Gibson's character was in that was Lethal Weapon, right?
yeah, yeah. But I
In
mean,
all
yeah,
of
that's what
those
I'm saying.
movies, he was a smoker.
Like I just thought that was really cool. I mean, and I still like the part about that he didn't want the empire, but it wasn't as much of a political stand as much as more of like his job at Jeopardy stand, kind of like he had a little bit of a political stand, but it was more like I don't want my wife or ex-wife, like you know what I mean. It was more like that kind of stuff.
Well, and
So,
it's funny that you mentioned the ex-wife as we dip into the super spoilery stuff. Like that part of the story is right now. It seems so unnecessary. Like why?
yeah,
You've got this big galactic thing going on with crime syndicates and the Empire, whether or not they're going to show up, and we got to find out about Captain's failed marriage and his son that's somewhat neglected.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it was like if they would have said, okay, we're going to make a Star Wars story and it's going to talk about, you know, divorced parents and the ones like if you would just and you'd be like that's going to be a terrible show. You know what I mean? Like people are like we don't want to see that in our Star Wars, but it all just kind of fit, which was really nice, I thought, you know.
Well, and
Um
like in the lead up to this, they didn't mention any of that stuff at all. It's there, it's part of the show, but it wasn't something that um, they didn't attempt to describe the show in those ways.
yeah,
Unlike, and this is where I'll say where Star Wars got it wrong when they came out with the Acolyte and attempted to say that it was a combination of Frozen meets Kill Bill, which I understand, it makes sense, but
right.
I don't know if everybody picked up on it, and it kind of I think in some ways hurt them. But with this, they didn't go down that path of saying, "Oh, it's like this."
Well, yeah, and sometimes if you have to tell people that you set expectations that kind of mess people up. You know what I mean? Like that's the key to making people notice it without telling them you have to notice it. Like certain things
Yeah.
you want to tell them. Like I know they posted up that the Darth Maul's lightsaber sound was partial Sam Witwer screaming, and then they morphed it into the sound of the blade and stuff. That kind of stuff is kind of cool to hear behind the scenes because no one's going to pick that out. Unless you're like one of 3 sound experts in the entire world, you're not going to pick that out. But when you have those story notes that you're building in, let people figure it out. Like I said, I just was amazed at how much I really cared about a character that didn't have any force powers, wasn't with the Empire, wasn't with the rebellion. He's just a cop on a beat,
Yeah.
Right.
With a robot partner. And if
Right.
Anthony put out there that Star Wars a crime story. They could
Yeah.
have very easily said Star Wars Maul, a buddy cop story, and it could have sent people down this partially random wrong path.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I mean, and he went to his kid's game, but he was like not there long enough. Like his kid was, and like it was all that stuff. I
Well, I
mean,
will say I am concerned about Lawson's health.
what, for all the coffee he's drinking?
Well, all the coffee drinking, all the sleep he's not doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't remember which episode it was, but there was one episode where he was out late. He came home. He's upset because his teenage son is listening to rock and roll music really loud and left, space pizza boxes all over the kitchen. They have a little conversation. He gets a message like, "Okay, back to work." Like
Yeah. Yeah.
he just came home and was home less than 10 minutes, and now he's back to the office.
And then those cars they drive remind me of the Green Hornet, that noir Green Hornet car.
Okay.
Like the big,
And,
I think Green Hornets might have had the suicide doors on it, like they have the sliding doors. It also
yeah.
reminds me of the old Batmobile from the early Batman comics, not the movies or the TV shows, but the early Batman comics. It was a big sedan with just like a bat head bolted on the front, and
Yeah.
it was one of those long,
And
you know,
they're the ships with the forks in the front, right?
yeah, kind of. But it's what he rode in, and then they just look like a long 4-door, like, and it has the minivan doors on the side to go
Yeah.
front to back.
And they also, to a small degree, look like the spinners from Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Definitely inspired by that kind of style.
yeah, yeah. So that was, and they have the colored lights, just like this, red and blue, like you see on the back, on the.
And
It would
that's
it
a
would
funny
only
thing. Like, why do they need that? Like, they could have had purple and yellow, but they go with the colors that are known. That's really funny, I thought.
Now you just need that rogue cop to come with the red one with a white stripe, like get Starsky and Hutch, and
Yeah.
um,
Reaches out and puts the temporary one on the top with a magnet.
Oh, there we go. The Green Hornet had full wing doors. Okay. I don't remember my Green Hornet that much. I watched it a little bit when I was in high school when I found out Bruce Lee was the so I searched it and oh, gull wing doors. Okay. I was thinking it had suicide doors, but I watched it because I wanted to see Bruce Lee. So but yeah, that's a lot of, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, and then what I really liked was the story with the apprentice and the story with the youngling. It didn't go the direction I thought it was going.
What do you mean?
Like when it ended those first 2, I didn't think she was going. I thought she was going to stick with Maul for a long time. Like I thought it was going to be more of a yin and yang, not her like, because it doesn't look like she's. I thought she was going to be more conflicted.
Well, I think, and I could be wrong with this, but I think they're deliberately stretching it out
Yeah.
to have it be like a slow burn. Not that I want this to happen, but if I was going to put my tinfoil hat on and take a guess, I'm concerned that Maul's going to turn the Padawan, and she's going to be the one that ends up taking out Master Daki.
Okay. I hope not. I hope that's
I hope not too. I hope not too. But I'm just saying that
I see a lot of Ahsoka notes in her. early Ahsoka from the Clone Wars.
Oh goodness, yeah, and I think that's part of the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And part of that beauty comes from the fact that Dave was so involved, and many of the other members of this crew were deeply involved in the creation of those characters.
Yeah.
So they've been working in Star Wars for quite some time.
Yeah. It's just good. I mean, the Pikes, we get to see tons of Pikes, they don't really fare very well with once someone has a lightsaber, but I think the Pikes are one of those groups that are really good against other like people on their level or below. Like I think they're like a feared crime lord, but it seems like when Mandalorians or Jedi or Sith show up, the Pikes don't really fare very well.
Yeah, they've reached their threshold of how bad they really are, or how
Yeah.
tough they
Um, but then the Pikes just reminded me of our opening sequence, and we watch those Pikes fight Mando and them every
Yeah.
week. So, and then there's a couple good Pike groups out there. There's a costuming group that just a bunch of them that just do Pikes. I don't think they're
Really?
I don't think they're in any costuming group. I think I want to say it's Michael Hernandez or something like that on Facebook and
From the Dad
Instagram.
Batch?
Huh?
Isn't Michael Hernandez in the Dad Batch or no?
No. This is a different one. And he
Okay.
just does they just do a lot of like Pike type stuff, which is kind of cool.
I'm hoping that when we go to Celebration, that there's a bunch of people dressed like the police
Yeah,
from
yeah.
James, because their costumes are really cool, and the two boots droid and the droids that are like
Yeah.
him, that seems like a droid costume that a person could easily be in.
That's true. That's true. I am
I mean,
sure there's probably already a 3D file for that one if you want to
yeah,
print
I
one.
wouldn't be surprised, especially with like Hu Yang and the battle droids that are already out there. I'm sure if
Yeah.
we were to go to Galactic Armory in a week, they'll have a
Yeah.
full scale statue available.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. I knew I was going to like it. I thought I was going to like I thought the Maul stuff was going to be all the stuff I like, but it's just like all of it. Like the story is it's a well rounded story. Like I said, I didn't think I'd be caring for like you could literally take that officer guy and put him in any modern, not modern, sci-fi, not sci-fi, and he would fit in with very little tweaks.
Absolutely. Even the idea of organized crime families fighting over, territory and power and all of that kind of stuff. Um, I think that's definitely a possibility too. Like you said, in any genre,
Yeah.
Scarface, that kind of thing, or the old gangster movies from the 50s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they've done a real good job of identifying these different groups and pitting them against each other.
Yeah. Ronald wants to know if we're looking forward to the 250th. I think right now we have May and Mando to worry about.
Yeah.
I
Step by step by step.
step by step. I do now. I guess I'm old. I do remember 1976. I remember my grandmother was all about that. Like we had bicentennial school plays. We had to learn all those bicentennial songs. I remember one kid in my class, she dressed up as Betsy Ross, like for like all the time that year. And we went into Philly on field trips, got to see Benjamin Franklin's house and all that. So
Liberty Bell.
huh? The Liberty
Liberty Bell.
Bell. Trying to think, Valley Forge, which Valley Forge was probably the lamest one because it's literally just there's some mounds of dirt there, kid. That was a battlement. Oh, what battle was fought here? Nothing. They just stayed here in the wintertime. So, but
and ate their horses.
Yeah, but we have 2026 and 2027 for Star Wars. Ken and I were talking a little bit about popcorn buckets beforehand. They haven't even really released the Mandalorian popcorn buckets yet.
Not yet.
But if you're watching this, look up the He-Man. There's a Castle Grayskull that has a cup holder, a popcorn like moat where you put your popcorn, and I think it even has a space for your candy. It's almost as good as the Castle Grayskull toy that they used to make, you know. And then
Check out the Mortal Kombat ones too if you're looking for some other fun ones.
yeah, and then the drink cup. The drink cup is a giant sword. Man, Ronald is all over the place. You know. Well, look, Budweiser. That's it. That's the Star Wars commercial on the Super Bowl. That was the Clydesdale. We
commercial.
had the Tauntauns.
Yeah.
I would like to see that again, just to see people get riled up. That was still one of my favorite Star Wars commercials. And there's some other. There was a commercial just released about some itty bitties, or I don't know, with some stormtroopers. I think they were members of the 501st. They just did some kind of Star Wars commercial. Zoe
wow.
sent it. Zoe sent it to me. Let me see. It was. Let me see. Stormtroopers Miniso, whatever that is.
Oh, they're like little toys.
Yeah. They released. They said it was 501st. Most of it looks 501st. A little bit of it looks AI, though. To be honest with you, like some of the motions of the stormtroopers, I'm like, yeah, I don't think you can really move like that in armor. You know, they could just be speeding it up too. A lot of times they speed it up. That's all right, Ronald. I like all your topics, you know. But yeah,
we just can't follow all the threads.
We try. I mean, we go off topic many times, but yeah. So the Maul, definitely, if you haven't caught up, just watch it. You know, Zoe goes to watch parties. They've been having watch parties, so I think she wears red every Monday or something like that. So I'm gonna have to start wearing my red shirt to work on Mondays for Darth Maul.
I got a few more weeks.
Yeah.
So 3 more weeks.
I mean, April's flying by, so if you know that's.
I don't think they're gonna smoosh it all in. I don't think that 10 episodes is gonna be enough to get a full, complete story of Maul from here to, you know, Star Wars Rebels when we saw him as
right
as old master.
But we have season 2. We do have season 2, so you know, season 2 is already approved. So you wonder if that, like, I don't know how television and animation is made. I still don't understand animation. Like, I still don't. I mean, I understand it, but when I see all those credits, I still don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like when they say lighting, I'm like, what do you mean lighting? It's you know, it's on a computer. You just put light wherever you want. So I don't understand that part. But I do wonder what they do. Like, do they have, like, if a second season isn't approved, like I wonder if they kind of hedge your bets, you know, like, okay, this is our season ending, but we have to make sure we leave it just in case we do get a second season.
Well, I think the Acolyte's an example of that. You know, so they attempt to make it be a complete something, or even you could say Obi-Wan Kenobi or the Book of Boba Fett, also similar. So yes, it had an ending, and you could say that some aspects of the story are tidied up at the end, and there's because we know there's more that happens from the end of that story until where we finally end up seeing that character's final end. So we know there's lots more stuff that can happen in there. The question really becomes, will they fill in those blanks with anything, and how will they fill it? Will they come up with more comics? Will they include it in a video game? Will they make an animated version of it, or you know, continue on with whatever style that they're doing? So with Maul, yes, another season of the animated stuff. With the Acolyte, will they do a comic book, a novel, you know, or a cartoon or something?
Right. Well, I know Zoe did I think she wrote an article last couple weeks where she give advice to people that wanted to read comics that just get them ready for Maul. So, like, Maul has a lot of books and stuff to get it ready for. And I think there's I think I was hoping to see flashbacks of Maul, to be honest with you. I was hoping to see like I would love to see a flashback of something that took place like a Phantom Menace, like of him, you know.
Well, there's still chance.
Yeah.
There's still time. I mean, this show's not over,
No.
and I don't think, even though Maul is attempting to show himself as a cool, calculating, thoughtful um, leader or person or character, you and I know, and the rest of the Star Wars fans know, Maul tiptoed into the to Wackyville.
Yeah, oh
You know,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he went really, really extreme in several different ways and in several different, parts of his training, his life. And who's to say that there isn't an event that triggers a flashback? There isn't an event that where he's not behaving as calmly as he is appearing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that the scene for me that exemplified that coolness was the duel between him and Devin, where
Yeah.
they're on that bridge. Of course, in Star Wars, you have a bridge over a big hole with no
With
railing.
no railings.
Yeah. And so he's just dueling against her with one hand, just like Count Dooku did as a fencer. And
Yeah.
he's just parrying and taking her out, kind of thing. Didn't even seem like he broke a sweat. And then when
Right.
she tried to leave, he's like, yeah, you're going to give that back. So instead of grabbing her, he just grabbed his lightsaber and let her go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I was surprised that she left so soon. Like I thought that was going to be I thought the whole season she was going to be somehow tethered to him, which again, it still could be, but um I don't know. It's good. I was worried about that Pike captain of the guard. I thought he was going to kill him for just surrendering. I thought he was going to go, you know what I mean? Like
Because you're weak.
yeah, yeah. I was like, oh man.
But it,
So,
it, it reinforces that idea of the stuff that Maul learned from Palpatine.
yeah.
You create these fake organizations where you put people in visual positions of power when you're the puppet master behind the curtain pulling the strings.
Yeah.
You will be the leader, but you'll answer to me. So are you really the leader, or are you just the Mandarin from Marvel?
Right. Yeah. I don't
And
know.
I'm
It's good.
amazed at how deep the story goes for for something that's just filling out more about this character who was cut in half in 1999.
Yeah. It's crazy when you think about that. Like when you think about how they used him in Phantom Menace. And even I think George Lucas has said that he wished he you know, I don't know if George Lucas I know I can't remember if it was no, that might have been Boba Fett he was talking about. I think it was Boba Fett when he said I wished he would have.
Yeah, I think he talked about both of them that way.
Yeah. Well, see to me, like Darth Maul, I was surprised in Phantom Menace because I was used to the bad guy that would stick around for 3. Hey Tim, you did not miss the whole show. But I was looking when I first went to Phantom Menace, I was looking at um thinking he would be the villain for 3, for 3 whatever you call it, 3 episodes. So
Well, I think even from the title, they were setting us up to be unsure of who it was they were really talking about.
yeah, I will be totally honest with you. Back then, I was so excited for Star Wars, I did not read anything into the title. It could have just been called. It was to me. It was just the next Star Wars movie.
Yeah, like episode 1, that could have been
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. I was just like, okay, trade whatever. Yeah, okay, I'm cool. It's a new Star Wars movie, so yeah, I was. You know,
And I think that's also, I know we talk a lot about a lot of different things of Star Wars. And one of the many things I think that's really fun about it is you have the ability to talk about so many different parts of it
Yep.
because there has been so much attention and effort put into them.
Yeah.
Even like whether we're talking about the title of the Phantom Menace or the title of each of these episodes of this cartoon or each of the episodes of, season 3 of The Mandalorian. There's a lot of effort that goes behind the scenes into making these things, picking the right words or picking words that don't give away too much of the story, but also connect, connect to the things that have come before it and or creating space to connect to the next thing because we know there's going to be a next thing.
And we should have known better because of just all the kerfuffle about Revenge of the Sith. I mean, Revenge of the Jedi. We
Yep.
should have known that George was going to make sure the name meant more than it did, just because that was like the trivia all the Star Wars nerds knew in 1984 or 1983, 1984.
Yep.
That was like the one behind the scenes. That was like your ticket to know that you were a super nerd is you knew all that. And so we should have known. We should have dissected Phantom Menace way more than most of us did when it first came out.
Yeah. But
So
it was also before podcast, so now we can do it. We can do it here for everyone to participate in.
that's true. Not what? Wait, when was what was the date of the first Star Wars podcast?
Ours
No,
or
the one we celebrate free
February 7th,
of what year?
1999. I thought.
So so it was out pretty close to when Phantom Menace came out.
Yeah, just before. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's spoiled. That's yeah. It's I do feel bad for I feel bad for people, and I did it to my daughters too, so it was spoiled for them. But I feel bad for I feel so lucky to be one of those people that was shocked when Darth Vader was Luke's father and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think there's real other
It's
than
also it's one thing to hear about it. I think it's altogether another thing to see it or hear it for yourself.
oh, definitely.
And to your point, I think I'm picking up what you're laying down. The Grogu scene was probably the most recent big surprise reveal that
Right.
in recent Star Wars stuff.
Right. Yeah, I don't think there's been any. I mean, I think you had maybe the Jango Fett clone thing would have been a surprise. I'm trying to think of fandom surprises, not necessarily story surprises.
Well, I think it was definitely unexpected, but I don't
Yeah.
think it has the same exhilaration connected to it as Grogu or even the death of Han Solo. Spoiler warning for the people who haven't seen The Force Awakens.
Yeah, Death of Han Solo was definitely but yeah, I mean that was so I feel, but the Grogu one, I think for this generation or for that was beautiful in the way they kept that hidden.
Yeah.
I think they tried to do it when Luke showed up at the end of season 2.
That's a good point. That's another good one.
But that was kind of it had built to so much that they had put so many feelers out there. It would have been like if in the first episode of Mandalorian you kept seeing footprints that looked like Yoda. Up until he got, you know what I mean? They were putting so many crumbs out there that it was going to be some Jedi.
Yeah, that's true. However, they fooled the crew. They had convinced the crew that it was going to be
Plo Koon.
either Plo Koon or Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto, yeah. It couldn't have been Kit
One of the
Fisto
two.
because Kit Fisto wasn't he killed by the
He was
Emperor?
killed by the Emperor, but Plo Koon also died in a crash.
Right, but he died in a crash,
Oh yeah, yeah, it's true. You never saw the body. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, so
But I think those two moments, Luke showing up and Grogu showing up, were probably the biggest surprises of recent Star Wars history.
yeah.
And they were fantastic ones.
Well, yeah, that's like the best, stuff like that. So, um, and I
And I'm
did
not even
pull up.
sure if we. I'm not even sure if we need another surprise as much as maybe this big emotional kind of an event.
Yeah, that's true. Here, I did while we were talking, I did want to show these, because this will be our next emotional event. Me saying no to all these. Let's see. Come on, picture. There we go, Ken. You can only get one. Which would it be of these three?
What's the lightsaber? Is that that's a
I,
sipper?
I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. Popcorn bucket.
If I could only get one, I would probably get the Bantha only because I have.
Swizzle sticks, whatever they are.
Oh, so
They
they're drink.
served submerged in soda or slushies.
Okay, so yeah, they're drink stirrers.
Yeah.
So no to the swizzle sticks, as cool as they are.
Okay. So what's your
I think I would go with the Bantha.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because it would go with my Jawa and my Java to get my Tatooine trio set done, because I have the Jabba and I have the Jawa, and now I would need the Bantha.
Nice.
So yeah, and then we still have to plan our Empire Striketh Back yet.
Yeah. Well. Speaking of merch, do you have Stomp Monkeys commercial for us?
Oh yeah, let me get Stomp Monkey's commercial here. So those that are watching, just give us a second. We have to get him to make us one with audio, so when people are listening to the podcast, they can be like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah.
All right. But here is our friend Marcus. He's a TK into 501st. He is also a Jawa that rides a Gonk droid, which is awesome to see. So here. Where are we at? I'm not sure why he likes to stomp on monkeys, but apparently if you stomp on monkeys, you get really good stuff. We'll
Well,
have
if
to
you
ask.
stop at the Stomp a Monkey.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking at this 3PO head. There's a couple things that bug me about the C3PO head. The side, this is just me being a C3PO snob. The side neck bolts are slightly angled wrong. There's no vents in the crown. I think the eyes are too small. There's a nose ridge which should be there, and the mouth, and there's a cheekbone. There's a cheekbone that runs down that does not run on the C3PO. So it looks like it's actually more of an animated C3PO than the live action.
Maybe, but I'll just share 2 words with you.
Yes,
Popcorn bucket.
I know.
Just popcorn bucket.
I know.
Just popcorn.
I like it. I mean, I like it, but I like the Bantha better. I think the Bantha will go better with.
I'm glad they chose not to use like faux fur on the Bantha.
Oh God! Imagine your nice popcorn juices all over
Buttery
that thing.
popcorn juice on a Bantha.
Yeah.
That would just be an awful, awful, awful mess. Although it would be cool if it came with a comb that you could comb, put like barrettes in it.
Yeah, there you go.
Like those old Barbie heads where you could comb his hair and style it up and stuff. So it'd be it's fun for boys and girls.
Yeah,
And
okay.
girls and boys.
Or anyone that just likes to comb hair. So I guess
I missed the days where I had hair to comb.
Yeah. Well, mine was a mess today and I was teaching and I was in front of the smartboard and I was like, I saw my hair. I was like, oh crap. So the kid said, Mr. Hinton, look like I have a mohawk. I was like, yep, I said, I'll have to fix that after class. But yeah, so we have, so our, what day do we want to try our, let's do this live. What day do we want to try? Because if Tim's still on, what day do we want to do Empire Striketh Back? Do we want to try to get it in April, or do we want to wait till the May festivities?
Hard to say because there's a lot of stuff in May. You still have, I mean,
Oh yeah, because we have a movie.
we have a movie. We have the end of Mall. We have Fan Expo. We have possibly the Geek Con. You know, so there's bunches
Yeah.
of those things going on.
Maybe.
So Mall ends May 4th.
Okay.
So that week, May 6th, we probably end up finishing up our conversation or finishing up the series review.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we'll stop talking about Mall. Maybe
Right.
the next week, May 13th.
Okay, I think May 13th works for me.
And it'll also give us time between now and then. If we wanted to, we could combine the 3 acts that we've done so far into something for folks to catch up on.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. Or we could put them up on as a Saturday classics.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We could do, yeah. So we'll shoot for May 13th. We'll post something up on Facebook because that seems to be the best place where people can find it.
Yeah.
And we'll start getting the spots filled, and I'll make sure I make the spreadsheet better. But we'll go for May 13th. I think that's going to be the better time. That's going to be the time for me because next week is the 6th year anniversary from when Zoe's Star Wars, our Star Wars stories was released on StarWars.com.
Nice.
So I have some calls out for possibly trying to get us guests. I can't promise anything and probably won't get any, but I at least feel like I'm doing something for our show.
Nice. And when is our 200th episode?
I don't know.
It's got to be soon.
What episode are we on? Someone help me out. We're in the top 190s, right?
I thought this was 191, but I could be wrong. Todd's usually really, really good about.
I know, right?
Where we are.
See you later, Ronald. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit.
Thanks, bud. Let me see. Oh, there we go.
Know about the other show if you really want to have us as guests.
Yeah. Reach out. I don't know much about Army Men, but we had Cowboys and Indians, which I probably were very offensive now when I think about it. But we had those two. We had Plastic Everything. You could fight every war, and when I was a kid. Okay, let's see. Inflatable Falcon episodes. Man, I have way too many. I have way too many podcasts on my. We have 25 subscribers on Spotify.
Hello.
All right, here we go. 195, 196. So this is 197. 190. So wait, is that going to be our 200th?
It could be. What a way to celebrate.
Wait a minute. Let me see. I got to pull up a calendar. I need a visual. I need a visual on this. Okay. So what did I say we are at?
You said 195.
Wait.
Or is this 196?
This is, hang on. 195. This is 197.
Oh, shoot.
9 is the 29th.
So the week of Star Wars Day.
So the 13th is 1.
Oh, so yeah, the week of Star Wars Day will be the
200. That's good.
How awesome is that? You
There
can't
we
plan
go.
that kind of stuff.
Huh?
You can't plan that kind of stuff.
No. There we go. So that's good.
And here comes Todd for the rescue. May 13th will be 2. I love you, Todd. Just don't tell Sue.
Wait a minute. May 13th won't be 200
It
because
won't be.
this is 197. Hang on. Now Todd has me confused in my mathing. 97, 98, 99. Yeah, it'll be 201. Unless we can make one, maybe we can make one 195.5. We can do a half a show.
No,
I don't know how to, I
we,
don't
can't,
know.
we couldn't even keep this to 60 minutes. You imagine trying to keep us to 30 minutes?
That's true. That's true. But no, that's good. So hopefully we get some trooping in or some costuming in. All those people with Star Wars costumes, reach out to anyone you know that needs someone for the May the 4th and go do some May the 4th stuff. If you're in a group, do it with a group. If you're not in the group, do it with something else. You know, like I
We
said,
actually stopped by our movie theater down the street. We wanted to see if they had any of the Wicked for Good stuff left. Unfortunately, they'd sold out of all of it. But we asked to speak to the manager to see if they wanted any Star Wars characters for Mandalorian and Grogu, but the manager was unavailable to talk to us. So I'm going to go back uh, this weekend and check out, see if they are interested. Because I could just show up. I could just go down the street. You know.
yeah, well, we have a couple troops coming up in Pennsylvania. There's one at Penn Cinema. There's a little cinema near me. I'm half tempted to just ask them, you know, hey, do you want, you know, one or two? Just tell them to call. Like sometimes the groups need to reach out to these theaters. And I always like doing the smaller theaters. Like it's nice to do the big theaters, but I don't know, the appreciation level of not only the customers but the staff sometimes is really neat.
And just the sheer unexpectedness of it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and at Free Comic Book Day, we have I'm going to troop something Free Comic Book Day. I just haven't figured out which one. But there's a couple. I don't think I got to talk to the Lancaster Comic Book Store and see if they've reached out. Ah, okay. As a handler, cool. Yeah, I might sign up for the Penn Cinema one. It just depends.
Where is that?
That is in Lidditz. Did you come when we watched Boba Fett in the theater?
No. Isn't Lidditz where we saw Galactic Empire?
Yes, it's right down from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the problem with Lidditz for me is like Friday night traffic. Like I live south of Lancaster. To get through the traffic on Route 30 by the time I get home, like last time I was like flying from Maryland to my house to then there, and then I was already tired before I even got costumed up. So, but yeah, I'll probably do one of the Penn Cinema ones, I think. But yeah,
I want to get a picture of me behind the counter in my Mando kit.
See, we did one in Maryland. Safi and I was TK and she was in 000, and they put 000 behind the counter. They put 000 everywhere. They were like so pumped to have 000 there. They were just like, "Can you hold this? Can you do this?" Yeah. So yeah, that's crossing Route 30. I know people that live much further from Lancaster than I do, but they don't have to cross Route 30 and they can get there quicker than I can. Living like in theory, I should be able to get to Penn Cinema in 30 minutes. On Friday, if it takes an hour, I'm lucky because Lidditz Pike and Route 30 is just like not a fun drive on Friday. So, but yeah, I think I might reach out to a couple theaters and say, now I don't know anymore what the 501st what the Garrison's protocol is for getting groups, you know, like sometimes it used to be they're like, well, you have to ask us so many weeks in advance. But I think I'm going to tell a couple places, look, if you call them, I can be there. Just, you know.
Well, and in truth, we also live in a world now where you don't have to be in the formal costuming clubs to just go.
Well, that's true, but I feel like lately, since I'm on the 501st cast, I want to try to like promote
You can.
I know.
My point
Yeah.
is, if not every appearance of someone in the Star Wars, I mean, there are more cosplayers with bigger followings
Yeah, that's
than
true.
our 5 shows combined.
That's true.
That,
That's
that
true.
can, I mean,
But
think
yeah,
about all the folks that got invited to the mall opening in San Francisco,
yeah,
and we know some of those folks.
yeah. So yeah, I want to I definitely want to reach out to at least one more comic book store. Um, because like I said, Lancaster comic book store is like the perfect one for troops. They are always so nice, and they donate all their proceeds to. Did I jam up on you here?
I'm not sure if you did or I did.
I don't know. Something went weird.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been wonky time.
yeah, but anyhow, yeah, I'm looking forward to some cool troops. I mean, um, I just my summers. I'm waiting to see what Zoe's schedule is change. For when I'm here and when I'm not here. So, um, but before we go, Ken, one more time, do you have anything
Yeah,
new in the works for your podcasts?
a couple things in the works. So there's the possibility of hanging out with the guys from the Sarlacc Digest. There's Todd and I are working on getting some members of the 501st on bounty hunting across the galaxy. We want to do an episode in May about
Okay,
about that particular costuming group.
and all the
And
hosts, all the hosts of the 501st cast said you just reach out to them. So.
so reach out to them individually or reach out to them
I'd
through
reach
you.
out to them individually because they all have different schedules. You know what I mean? But just reach out to them and if they're available, I would highly recommend like Anthony and Anthony's from Jersey, so he's in the same area as you.
So are you also interested in being on
I'm
that show?
interested too, but I mean, if I am not offended if you want to put new blood in there too. So I am but I can always be your go-to person, but I also do understand you like to have variety too. Mikey's another one, man. Mikey. All the guys are great, but I'm saying like Mikey and Nitro, they're all good guys. Reach out to them too. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Well, it's fine. I'm also considering reaching out to some folks. There's another show that I've been listening to recently called Outer Rim Rambling.
Okay,
I'm kind of partial to the title.
the rambling
So
part.
yeah, the rambling part. So any podcast that talks about Star Wars and mentions rambling, I feel an affinity towards. Um, so those are some things I have, bubbling up. And how about you with the 501st cast? What are you guys doing
Yeah,
for
well,
May?
we have again. We'll figure it out this weekend, but we do have some. We did an interview last month with Trooper of the Month, and so that was good. It was, and you and I both had good interviews because that interview you guys had with the Mando Mercs creator was, really cool. The Mando Mercs that's just a unique thing where the creator is still so involved, with what we do or what you guys do. But yeah, that's what I have. Zoe still has hers. I mean, I think they're into their 300th some episodes. So, um, and uh, yeah, so and we have our show, which we're going to break 200. If someone would have told us we were going to do 200 episodes a couple years ago, I'd be like,
You're lying. I would have
yeah,
called
I
him
don't think
lying.
that's going to happen. So until we bring on if we ever bring on cousin Oliver, then when they know that the show's about ready to tank, right? Remember cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch? They had to bring
Yep.
another cute kid in
Or
because.
the faux twins from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If what would our twins be? It would be Mark and Keith. If we have to bring in Mark and Keith,
Yeah,
to fill in for
Mark
for
and
us.
Ben.
Yeah, Mark and Ben. Did we lose our chat stream? I think our chat stream is what died in that weird thing.
Oh man.
But I don't know. So yeah, it's we got a lot of cool Star Wars stuff coming up. Costuming. Like I said, I'm looking forward to build. I don't know what I'm looking forward to more this summer is building stuff or trooping. I don't know. I'm hoping we get a panel at at Fan Expo. I think
Well, they gotta pick up one of the three.
I think I'm going to be mildly crushed if we don't get a panel. I will be. I mean, I'm saying I'm not putting my hopes up, but I think my hopes in the back of my mind, my hopes are probably higher up than they probably should be.
Well, I'm hopeful that they'll choose it because there's a Star Wars movie coming out that month.
Yeah.
You know, so I would guess that they would want to have some sort of Star Wars programming.
Yeah.
You know,
so.
And it helps that it's also the Mando Mercs Northeast region event, so there's going to be more Mando Mercs there than I've ever been at a
That's kind of cool.
At a Fan Expo in Philly, at least.
Can they handle that much coolness? Is Fan
It'll
Expo?
Be hard to, we'll have to see if the AC can, or the ACAV or whatever can contain us all.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. So, well,
I think because you said it's a lot of fun, I think you just opened up or unlocked the outro.
All right, which is still just the intro that I haven't been too lazy. I should just run it backwards. It might summon Satan by accident.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Hey, Mike, what do you see? A Falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable Falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable Falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy far. The Falcon's ready, let's raise the bar.